All right, we're back after our 2 week hiatus. We're finally back. We're all together. We're all back in the States. We're doing a lot of things. Some news, market reports, a little banter about some things I saw online about an idea for identifying signature series books and stuff like that. So let's get into it and let's run the intro and we'll get going. So let's go. Everybody's doing it. Look at that. Boom, boom. Like we never left. Let's go.
What's happening?
Good.
Let's see. So news at the start. Let's go. Not in very detailed order, but I didn't make this as big, but I'm sure everybody knows from last week or this week, I guess. Strike is over, so actors make a deal with the studios after 118 days. So we are back to it, and things are about to pick up, I guess. Wrestling talk.
Give me the boys, please.
Yeah, right.
I just got my little fix with the Gen V.
Correct.
Oh, that was good.
I need another season, man. And yeah.
I guess we can talk about it since it ended. I don't want to talk about Loki because I know you haven't watched the end of it. A lot of people haven't watched the end of it, so we'll wait for like a week or two before we talk about that. What do we think of of Gen V? I mean, do you think? I mean, obviously it's got to be a season 2, right?
Oh yeah, they're
dude,
killed, didn't it? Ratings wise, it did real well.
Yeah, and I've got strangers coming up to me that are like, "Hey, have you heard of this?" And I'm like, "I haven't ever told you to watch The Boys before." I was like, "Yes, I've seen Gen V, and if you somehow watch that before The Boys, you're in for a treat." And don't let your kids watch.
Yeah, I mean, you would have thought that whole kind of what you described about the normies or the people who aren't into comics coming up and being like, "Oh, I saw this thing, Gen V." It's like you thought that would have been over by now, at least after The Boys having it's going into its 3rd season at this point. But yeah, it still shows like they're still managed to find new audiences. So I mean, it's good for the business because it means people will ultimately. I mean, unfortunately, this ain't the comic book where people are going to go back and go read it. So, and if they do, they're going to be horribly disgusted. So.
I love describing the beginning. The more vulgar comic version of the Deep and Starlight. Starting off to that, and they're like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know. That it could have been the easiest way to take a television series to start. It was already bad enough, but they still got there." So,
and they were saying too, this I guess it was officially renewed for season 2 even before the first season.
Oh yeah, it was it was like by episode 2 or 3 they were already greenlit for a second season.
Yeah. So.
Well, I think they almost, I don't say they marketed to a different audience, but not everybody knew they were connected. And Boys is superhero. This, yes, it's superhero, but it's like that sort of superhero adjacent feeling. If you're looking at the previews.
And I didn't see the last season of The Boys because I'm an idiot, and I just totally forgot about it. I know. And so at least it didn't make me feel bad for not missing it. So I didn't have to get lost. So in the sauce, I guess. So
yeah. I mean, I'm still behind, but yeah.
It's going to make more sense if you see The Boys,
right?
But it's not. They kind of explain or not. You don't understand really the VOT thing, or even the name of it being, Gen V, like. To see what the V stands for.
Yeah, but you could still enjoy it and not really need it.
Yeah, I agree, but it's definitely better. And there's again, not to go the deep in the spoilers, but I mean there's overlap and there's character overlap, even if it's just a small part, Sure. So there's definitely good to have seen it. I mean, I think that say the finishing the end of the series is going to make more sense if you've seen The Boys, but there's clearly a season 2. There's absolutely season 2. I already knew there was, but let's say I didn't know there was. there's a season 2 coming, and kind of excited. It's just one of those where I'm like, son of a bitch, now I gotta wait again.
Speaking of waiting, with the strike being over, that means things can start moving maybe again, slowly but surely. I picked this up. They're reporting that since all these movies are starting to come, it's Deadpool 3 gets moved to July 24, Captain America gets moved to February, Thunderbolts moves to July, and then Blade moves to November.
Oh, I'm gonna take my wife to a romantic Captain America movie.
Let's go.
There you go. I did Logan on Valentine's Day. It's usually the woman that gets choked up on Valentine's Day, man. Watching Professor X.
She's like, this the first time I've seen you cry as a Wolverine movie.
Yeah, so it was sappy for me. I don't know about for
her. So I mean, at least we have, I guess, in the next year. Obviously, this year's almost over, which is crazy too. 24 and 25, maybe the rebirth of Marvel. I don't want to get into the Marvels yet until people get to see it. I know some people on the panel haven't seen it yet, but it's okay.
Do we have initial thoughts from who saw it? Just Sean?
I saw it too.
I mean,
I'm aware of
positive,
post-credit
negative
scene,
vibe,
so.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do post credit. I'm not gonna do spoiler. I'll do general. I don't do the spoiler stuff anyway. If I wouldn't, I'll even do it because I liked it. I honestly liked it better than I thought I was gonna like it. And if you've seen the trailers, there's the way they did some of the things in the trailers I thought were showed up on the film a whole lot better than I thought it was going to end up being in the trailer.
Agreed.
I thought the chemistry was good, and that that goes for some of the way it's strung together. So the power changing stuff. I mean, it's all stuff that's out there. I thought that stuff was actually pretty well done. The people I know that have seen it really like Kamala in it, and they may or may not have seen Miss Marvel, the show. I liked her character in Miss Marvel. I thought Miss Marvel had some really weird episodes. I didn't think they did it as well as they could have, but I think they definitely chose the right person. And to have the teenage star cracking up everybody in the theater. She just comes off really well. I don't think they could have cast her any better than they did. So that was good. So there's a good amount of that. I enjoyed it pretty much start to finish. A couple hokey parts that were like, okay. But
I think the thing too is
it was really good. Go watch it. Go watch it, wait for it. But I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Well, I think for me, I think they took, and I understand all these people, like people were determined to hate it before they even saw it kind of thing. We talked about this too. Solid scene, not a bad movie, average signing scene, Thor and Thunder vibes. So for me, what I did is I saw it too. I saw it in a different version than Sean did, we'll just say that. And I saw it at my house, that's okay. So what I did is I think they took three of the most not necessarily great on their own characters, I guess you would call it, and it made them really likable somehow. And I think maybe they didn't have to carry the whole movie themselves, obviously individually, which probably like everybody talked about how Brie Larson was terrible and all this other stuff, and like Miss Marvel vibes. I think they just interjected them enough where it wasn't so crazy, where it was like just them just on the screen the whole time. Their chemistry was actually really decent. I think they finally just relaxed, I would say, and didn't have all the pressure of this whole carry a movie, do this whole thing, and just had fun with it. And I think it came across the screen pretty decent.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I think Brie definitely has got the most hate out of all of them. Also was the most visual, having had her own movie before, being one of the saviors of the universe and stuff like that in the Marvel movies. So she's more, been exposed to more possible criticism just by being out there. So a lot of people didn't like her as much. I know that I like Captain Marvel better the second, third times that I threw them on, and so I thought it was good. So, but I also definitely think this was her best performance of any of them. definitely more little like more likable, a little less dry. They do go into her backstory, so she becomes I don't know, not as goody, but I don't know if it's more sympathetic or not. But you definitely learn some things about her, and yeah, they did a good job. So making her, making her more likable, I think was something that they did a good job with, or that she did a good job with, however you want to put it.
I guess that's our little analysis.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I know these people. Some people like Heroes is saying. Some of us at Instagram said it was made for teenage girls, not 40-plus-year-old guys.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's true too. But I mean, for me, I thought it was okay. I mean, it's just one of those ones where you can take the wife, and the missus, somebody who's not in the comics, whatever you want to say, the kiddos, and have a good time and not worry about too much.
Yeah, and the whole, I've had on more than one post, Instagram stuff, ask people, well, did you see it? When people are just reporting on sales numbers on how bad it sucks, and I'm like, did you go see it? No, I know I wouldn't like it. Well, just like just like Heroes just said, maybe it wasn't made for 40-plus-year-old guys, or as Chris has said before, maybe it wasn't made for you. Something like that. If you already know you're going to hate it, what's the point of going on to hate on it, especially when you sell comics for a living? So,
and the thing too is, like, a lot of people on my Facebook, all my friends and stuff, they were like, who aren't into comics, were like, hey, we saw it, we're going to go see it again with the kiddos and stuff. And they're like, wow, they couldn't believe all the news coming out. Like, it made 48 million in the first weekend. I'm like, well, you got to think the strike happened. They couldn't promote anything, and I mean, they had to send it. I mean, you can't just sit on it. So,
yeah. Well, it was good. Glad to see it. Go see it. I am considering doing.
I was gonna say, to your point though about the whole, like, it's not for you, or it may not be for you. Like, I think this community has a real big problem with, there's the expression of, moving their cheese or whatever, is that they can't accept that they are no longer the target demographic for things. I'm noticing across the board with a lot of things that people have like love affairs for, or like huge fandoms for. I mean, I'm a car guy, so like if you go look at what people are saying about the new Ford Mustang, like there's a whole lot of people out there who just can't accept that, like, the target demographic for a lot of this stuff is age, like, depending on what it is, it's like a 20 or 30-year gap, and you probably don't exist inside of it anymore. And as shitty as that is to hear that, like, you're not the chosen few anymore of like prime demographic for all things that exist on the world. It is what it is. You can either adapt to the situation or just sit there and be mad. But like, there's people who are mad about the rotary phone going away.
There's
why is the iPhone so small?
So, some of us are Gen X, and we're just used to nothing ever actually being for our demographic, so it's okay.
Well, the thing too, look at the NFL, right? The NFL is the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce show, and every old person's like, I don't care about this, but the NFL's laughing all the way to the bank when they got a billionaire artist who's just like at every game, and every girl who doesn't watch football wants to watch football now.
Well, dude, I mean,
there's some pretty funny reactions to that.
I'm an old school wrestling fan, and like you guys remember, like we all grew up in like the Attitude Era for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole like crop of people. I mean, my dad was the previous generation of the Jimmy Snuka and like early Ric Flair and all those guys or whatever, and like he got it, but at the same time, like people he knew who like watched wrestling back in the day were like, oh, what is this? Like, DX suck it. Like, what is like all this?
It's a car crash on TV, right? Everybody's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the truth about anything that is like the cultural zeitgeist of the times, or whatever. I mean, people who watched the original UFC probably aren't interested in watching UFC now. It's like they're enjoying it when it was like a bunch of like random dudes in, local towns beating up on each other. And I was like, wait a minute, these are trained martial artists with, skill sets and things. Like, eventually things change, and it's like either you adapt to it, or you just got to accept that you're going to be the person fist waving at the clouds, yelling.
My buddy had an interesting take on this. He says that the Jake Paul and all the gimmick fights that are happening now are more entertaining than regular boxing, because at least there's gonna be like 4 knockouts on the card when it comes to gimmick boxing instead of decision fights, 12 rounds, and you're just watching 2 guys hug each other and point just doing point boxing. So
like the Fury and Ganu.
Yeah, right.
I had people over here in the afternoon because where it was live. I think it went live like 2:00.
Yep, 2:00
on the West Coast, and we had to watch it. You got a decent fight out of it, but sadly, you got 2 25-year-old 25-0 guys.
Mm-hmm.
Until they make that fight, which those do happen still, just not as often. Until they make that fight, and I realize, there's a boxing pay-per-view, and I look it up. I don't know that that's happening until the day of the fight. But I know who the hell Tyson Fury is. I definitely know who Francis Ngannou is. And you want to see one of the strongest punchers of all time that's never been in a boxing match. And he knocked down the champ. Yeah. A lot of people think he won.
I thought he won too. We won't go there. I'll digress and say I think
it was. I yelled split decision when it was over. We got what I thought. And boxing's generally to a degree rigged at some point. So I did. Yeah. Anyway, but same thing. I didn't think about it that way, Chris, about being falling out of favor with a demographic they don't give much of a shit about.
I mean, dude, like seriously, you go over there and look at what people are like. I had somebody like he's like a relatively known car YouTuber be like who are they making these Mustangs for and blah blah and drift handle and all this overly technology and trying to I'm like they're trying to make it for my buddy who just gave up his Mustang because he wanted a high-speed BMW. And they're trying to get that marketplace back. You're not the demo anymore. A Mustang shouldn't be $40,000, but it is. So either you can afford to have one or you can't. But you're not the demo anymore. And that demo is people age 25 to right at early 40.
Well, and the thing too is we talk about the Corvette, right? They can't do anymore with the Corvette, so they had to make it a mid-engine car because they did everything you could with the Corvette. There's nothing you can do. Yeah. So it's I mean, you're just gonna release the same car for the next 20 years. There's not gonna get sales. I mean, what the fuck am I gonna get it? What's the difference between 2020 and 2023?
And make it look like a Ferrari.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if this.
I mean,
go ahead.
Well, that too. Let's call it out. We're gonna die. I was gonna say we're gonna die someday. So, if you want your company to exist, you can't sell to people who are 40 and over perpetually. Because 40 turns into 50, 50 turns into 60, and before you realize it, they're not reading comics anymore. They're not buying cars anymore. Who are you gonna sell to? But yeah, we can continue on.
I don't know if this is true or not. I thought we talked about this in the past too, but I'm hearing more heat about it. That Feige wants to move on to after Secret Wars to take over Star Wars. Again, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's an interesting take. I mean, we'll see. I guess. I mean, it's hard to speculate on all this. I mean, I think with the phase that just came rolling around didn't do so well. I mean, it'll be interesting with this new phase with Deadpool and all this other stuff that goes out, how well it gets received. And then, I mean, maybe his passion is Star Wars, and he's like, dude, I'm gonna just take it over, and I'm Kevin, and no one can tell me what to do, and it is what it is.
Why does he look like Jamie Kennedy just beat cancer?
Wow, that is true. That's fucked up, but that's true.
Oh man.
I don't know, man. I just because he looks like Homelander, dude. He got 8 lasers shooting out of his eyes.
That's right.
I don't know. Fuck, dude. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I know Kevin made his beans in Marvel, and I kind of feel him as kind of like Michael Burry from the Big Short.
The legacy's getting tarnished.
Yeah, right. He did one good thing or a couple of good things, and all of a sudden, you said the legacy's tarnished, and he's not going to do anything ever again. I mean, he did a pretty ginormous thing. I mean, not saying he didn't, but
yeah.
Interesting. We'll save this one for last. Mr. Chris down here told us that according to Daniel RPK, Paramount is making a Max movie.
Well, I mean, they've completely revamped the nature of how.
Sorry. Go ahead. I think you cut out.
Chris Freeze or
I
something?
think I'm lagging.
I think you're lagging. Sorry. Yeah, so they're gonna rewrite it, or they're gonna write and direct it, and then Channing Tatum's attached to it as the star of the Max. So that's good.
It's gonna be an interesting movie to make.
Yeah, I mean, is he gonna have a helmet with the teeth kind of thing? I don't know what he's really gonna do.
I don't know, man.
It's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. This guy, I thought everyone thought Feige was a man, never understood this grown man fanboy fixation. I just think they were seeing things at the end of the day where I just think, you know, he saved comics, or at least somewhat.
Yeah, Feige's a man. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd be fine. I'd be fine with it. I think Favreau did a good job, and I don't know about.
I don't think Favreau's in charge.
He did a good job with everything he did in Star Wars.
Yeah, he's not.
What's it?
He's in charge of what he's in charge of.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah. So that's up and down, but.
Well, I think too. I mean, I think he goes into the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's like if you had a movie Hall of Fame for producing or directing or whatever the hell you want to call it, I think he's in that. Next, I have Development of Live Action Film of Legend of Zelda to start. So, all your Legend of Zelda 1 Valiant covers. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
I think I'm kind of hesitant on this one because I'm a Zelda fan, but I think it'll be interesting how they bring Link in and like how they make it. I mean, they got so much to draw from because this is really good. It's like Pokemon, right? They have so many Legend of Zeldas and Zelda spinoffs and all that stuff. They could do real good damage if they actually do it right. So.
I mean, it's a pretty basic story idea, so I mean, it should be easy to accomplish a decent movie.
Yeah, I mean hire the Mario team.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Good point.
You know, is that who are these the Nintendo guys? I don't know who these guys were.
Oh, so the guy on the left, yeah, he's a representative, and like he's like the fellow on Nintendo on the left, and then the right is
yeah. I'm like, could you pick a worse picture to highlight Zelda?
Hey, come on, man. Come on.
No, they already have an actor for this, right?
I don't think so.
Well, was it a rumor?
Which rumor?
The kid that looks like Link that was going to play Zelda. Or it's going to play Link, rumors. I guess. It's going to play Zelda.
Just rumors.
I don't know. I thought so. Maybe just rumor.
I saw a bunch of posts that Machine Gun Kelly wants to play Link.
Hey, do it, bro. Do it.
Thinks it'll be a travesty if he doesn't.
Instead of Twink?
This person could play Zelda. I don't know who the fuck this is.
That is Hunter Schafer from Euphoria.
Oh
yeah, I was talking about somebody else.
I know.
But I don't know who to tell you, so I can't help it. I know who she is.
This is 5 days ago. Let's see.
I don't know.
Oh, it's a slide.
That could be full of shit.
I don't know.
Oh, these are okay. So these
are people that could.
These are our picks. I saw one listen like somebody I thought they were in talks with.
Yeah. Gandorf, it is Elra. Interesting. Navi. Interesting. Anyways.
All right. But anyway, probably not. It's just fanboy shit, probably.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. And last but not least, this is a picture I saw and I put it in the group, and it seemed like a Paul's thing. Labels. So we always talked about people when you have massive signatures over books, and you have, everybody asks, right, in every Facebook post we see, who signed this or who signed this? Look at this. So what they did was on the slab, I might put it on the actual bag because I'm sure it's harder than hell to take it off. They actually made like a clear, just like a clear label and put whose signature is around the book.
I mean, that's not a bad idea at all. Like, honestly.
Really? Okay, I wanted to hear your opinion on it too. I would have probably put it on the bag instead of the slab because it's probably hard to get off. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Gugon leg, maybe. I don't know, to get it off.
I mean, those label maker labels peel off real easy.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, that's not
I mean, especially those ones where it's a bunch of people. You got 6, 8. There's people with like 10 and 26. Sometimes you're like, I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I
mean,
like
also
on this particular one. I definitely like it. I think.
Of course, Paul's like, would they sign the slab?
Yeah, right.
yeah, those still keep popping up. Like somebody recently posted a live fail remark and signature on the slab. I'm just like, why do people do this? Like, why you wasting all that money?
Yeah, Paul started it.
But I mean, LiFo charges so much goddamn money for that shit for it to ultimately, I mean, to rub off. Like, if you ever put it back in the bag again, like that shit's going to rub off. Like,
yeah.
Well, don't tell Paul that.
Well, Paul's also the one that wants to use a Dremel to open it up and get it signed, but then not get it reslabbed.
He's the man, so that's what we do. No, I thought it was a good thing. I was like, that's cool. Or like you said, I think about putting it over the bag and then lining it up, and you can just like if the guy doesn't want it, you can take it off, and the guy, but like you said, if they're easy to peel off, that's probably not an issue either. But we always see those posts, a ton of those posts of just people just saying, oh, who's this sign and stuff like that. It's a pretty good thing. I'm not saying I would take it with all my books, but I mean, like, I got some stuff that's signed. I mean, it's easy for me. I don't have a bunch of them, but
well, I mean, the one in particular that comes to mind is, what was that, ASM 700, I think. Yeah, it was 700 with the
Skyline.
Yeah, that like a bunch of people, like, it's funny because like somebody had that original idea and then like 30 other people copied it before Stanley and Whatnot died.
Yeah, this one. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I've seen one with like 30 plus SIGs.
Yeah, somebody managed to accomplish all of those. Yeah, I think when 700 came out, everybody was still alive at the time. So yeah, somebody actually managed to get. Yep, there it is, and got every single one of those.
Yeah, this is the most ever recorded. 99 signatures on this bad boy.
How much did you spend on that book?
And it got a 9.0.
I mean,
well,
shit,
at that point, I mean, how many people have scribbled on it? And
yeah, 9.0 is not.
No, I know it's not terrible.
I just can't imagine the cost of that.
I mean, depending on how many different times you had to crack it out, at bare minimum, let's say he was able to pull off like 10 at a time, even though we know that definitely was not realistic. If he pulled off 10 at a time at 99, that's that's still 9 times at 40 G or $40 every single time you have it regraded. So
plus the signatures themselves. And
I think on a book like this, like once you got past like the first 2 or 3, or if you managed to get a bunch of people to do it, I think honestly people started waiving the signature. I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, there's probably some dickheads out there, absolutely, but I think most people probably started waiving their signature fees on this one real fast because they're like, oh, so and so signed it. Oh, this is pretty cool. Like, I think people wanted to be a part of this. At least I got
one of these books. I actually found it in my box. And I was like, oh, maybe I start doing this. You know what I'm saying? But like, not as crazy as this. But I mean,
you drop like, I don't know how much, thousands of dollars on this.
But I'm not saying you need to do it exponentially, right? You just do it over 20 years. Who cares, right?
If this person ever does end up selling this book, I mean, it borders on priceless to the Spider-Man, like to the Spider-Man super fan. This is a book, even at a 9.0, in my opinion, would probably clear over 10 grand easy.
Yeah, I don't.
So they'll get it back. I mean, they'll get back what they got.
Yeah, there's people that appreciate it. It's just not my deal, I think.
This one has only, plus 14 signatures on it. And I mean, I'm not saying this guy is going to get it, but
I guess it's just not my thing,
No, I mean, I can see if you're not a signature person, but even like, I'm not even like I get signatures because, of course, people who they flip well for it. But like a book like that, I may have to reach into the pocket and come out with, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan, but that's cool. That is immortalizing the history of the character. Like that is everyone damn near that has something to do with it, over the last, knocking on 100 years of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be honest with you, I mean, is the only one who died was Stan Lee, right?
I mean, Kirby's gone.
No, Ditka.
Ditko's gone. Romita Senior's gone. So
yeah, I guess. Yeah. So it's
you got everybody but the originals.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I think they did. I mean, this book was signed.
I can see
Stanley's on there.
Stan.
Yeah, Stan.
Yeah, everyone can see Stan.
This
It
book was
probably
done
got Ramita.
before. Yeah,
It's old. Honestly, judging by that Stanzig, that's probably one of the first ones he got.
Well, wait a minute. Didn't Ditko die before CGC existed?
Yeah. I believe he did.
So that's probably the one that's not on there. But there's and then 700 came out after. I think.
Yeah, he started.
There's no way Ditko would sign it anyways. He's so
he wouldn't.
spiteful.
Even if he was alive now, I don't think he'd be on there.
Yeah, he started signing
He'd
in
be
17.
like, fuck them.
Yeah, so it looks like he started signing in 17. So he got a lot of mistakes in 17, 18.
He probably got Ramita Senior though.
He did.
Yeah.
Ramita Jr.'s on there. I thought I saw Ramita on there.
Ramita
I can see I can see JR on there. So Junior's on there.
He's up there somewhere. But interesting.
I mean, yeah, minus having the other big two on there. Yeah, I personally I'd love to have this, even at a 9.0.
So the person was a witness or facility could have got the blessing to hold on to the book and take it to every show instead of regrading it every time. That's a good point too.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it graded a few times though, like just slowly building, but not every time. I bet.
Yeah. Joe, what do you think, brother? You gonna buy this book? No.
Oh shit, man! Looks like you know what it reminds me of?
Oh,
like your school annual, bro. When you're fixing to graduate and everybody fucking
it's
just
a yearbook, definitely.
Even your enemies, hey, I'll sign it. All over it and shit. Yeah, I mean that's kind of like what it is. I don't know. I mean, if I was there and I met all those people and I got the autos, I don't think I would want to sell it. You know what I mean?
This looks like what goes inside of Paul's head.
This looks like
contemplating an idea.
This one right here looks like a pen, like somebody wrote it in pen.
And they all signed that.
Shooter.
Is it all at different cons or one con?
Oh, different.
No, it's all different.
Oh,
that's
Christ, dude! You need 2 labels for that, dude.
The back's fucked too. You see all the back? It's like Jesus, dude.
Wow.
No, what this honestly reminds me of, and this may be simultaneously dating myself and like making me seem super young. Is you remember in The Sandlot when he plays with the Babe Ruth ball, and then the guy who played with Babe Ruth gives him the ball signed by the entire fucking team at that time. Yeah. That's what this feels like. Like this feels like somebody like getting this book would be like having.
I'll be back in a minute.
The entire Yankees team of that time, like sign the ball or whatever.
No, I mean, for me, it's cool. I just thought I bought one for like really cheap. Like, come on, I'm not gonna spend $1 million on this, but I mean, it'd be cool. Like if people are offering free cigs, you walk around like, hey, I'm just gonna try to sign this book and stuff like that. Like,
I'm trying to think if there's any other characters that I mean, 'cause this year is the anniversary of Wolverine, so we're getting a bunch of Wolverine related stuff. But again, people are gone now at this point. So unless you've already got something started and signed by Herb Trim, then you're gonna have to play a little bit of catch up.
See how good the red looks on there. Like I would have had everybody sign in red, man.
That's a paint pen, man. That would have been a mess.
Oh yeah,
there's still some paint pens, obviously.
Yeah, it is a paint pen. Yeah.
And like, do you do like Wolverine the limited series #1, something like you can get entry level cheap, and then that's signed by Remita Senior and Trimp and all that stuff? Like,
I'm surprised this year we didn't get a cover like this for Wolverine. I mean, I guess there's still time, but I mean, I would want something that like shows some iconic artwork of him. Maybe the limited series, that classic limited series cover from Frank Miller would be a smart one, I think. And then you just go to town on having people sign it.
And like do it like this, but do it. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to bring this shit over. Do it like this, but do it in black and white, and then you can just have a lot of room, and then just fucking roll on over it. It's nice that fucking standard this one right over his fucking head.
I mean, you got that classic Claremont at the top over the signature where he always looks to put it. Yeah. Or over the lettering.
Yeah. So like this one just went $4,000.
Yeah, I mean something like that definitely. I don't know. It just there's something about looking at something like that, like having that in like as a centerpiece in your man cave or whatever. That I think that'd be something. I'm not quick to display books, but that is definitely something I would have sitting up on its own little easel on a shelf in the man cave, being like, yeah, everyone who's alive at the time who had anything to do with Spider-Man is on this book.
Yeah,
find another one.
Thank you.
So do you continue though, like as?
Because you got the back.
Like, what if there's another? Yeah, I was gonna say, do we?
Oh wow!
I mean, I
get
would.
all the Brooklyn Nets to sign the.
I was gonna say, do we get him to sign?
Wrong way, Darren Williams. Fuck, he'll do it. Yeah. You sign Panini cards.
As new creators come up on Spider-Man, I think I would. Like, I mean, I'd let it get another 10 years or so ahead, or 15 years ahead, and I'd start cycling through and getting the next
at least
crop.
The big ones.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Stegman's on there for Christ's sake. So yeah, they really did get every single person.
Yeah, look at that.
It is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's way too busy. Really don't get me wrong, but fuck, man, it's badass.
Yeah, I was gonna say Stegman. I mean, was he that much of a name in 2017? I mean, he was doing his thing, but at that point, it was Walking Dead, and I mean, he was doing his thing over at Venom, and so Walking Dead and Invincible. So yeah, Stegman was still kind of a newbie.
I'm surprised that everyone signed it and weren't a complete jackass and did like a remarkers. I know you wouldn't pay for that, but I'm just saying, like, everybody was pretty kosher about it. Like, not too many. I mean, it looks so busy, but it's like overlap. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, other than stands, they're not like obnoxious.
I mean, yeah, even Todd was just like, oh, I'll keep it reasonable and just put it over the barcode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome. That'll go on an auction site for like $5 one day when somebody dies. Like, oh yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, Spider-Man 700 SS.
What's wrong with it that it got
Don't forget the fire emoji. That'll be.
But again, a 9.0. I just think I don't know. We can look it up. What's this?
I mean, it can't be handled by that many people and not end up. I mean, there's thumbprints all over that bitch. You know it. Like,
oh,
I mean, the spine is gonna. I mean, especially you got to squeeze that many in. There's people signing on the spine.
I mean, like once you get to like a certain point, like people are going to stop and want to glance at the cover and like hold it and handle it and look at like who all like. There's just gonna. I guarantee you, there are just smudges in, especially with that black and white back cover. I guarantee you, there are smudges and
Sean's gonna laugh at this song. Look, unavailable. They're unavailable. Great notes are unavailable.
Yeah. They're like you know. They're like you know.
You fucking know.
Well, people just aren't good at handling that shit. So
maybe they should. Maybe you should press and regrade and see if it comes back higher.
I'd laugh. It'd be funny. Have CCS do it. Hopefully, it don't burn your book.
Dude, yeah, just
like
you know, some of those creators like pick it up and go, "Hey, Bill, look at this."
Yeah, exactly. Like that shit happened a couple times. They're like, "Oh man, that's awesome! Hey, look, so and so's on here. Hey, they're standing."
I mean, that would be an option to send it in and just have their bullshit fast pass grading, or I mean, pressing and just whatever.
It would probably
as bullshit as it is, man. As bullshit as it is, they do give me grades on their shit. Like, because I know for a fact I should not have gotten 9.8s on all those Peach Momoko. I mean, I didn't get a chance to show them off because they were all sold by the time we had our next show. But there was definitely books that I bought at the show that have signed by Peach Momoko that after I looked at them, I was like, there's no way in hell this is going to be anything higher than a 9.2. And the bitches all hit 9.8. And I had them pressed by CCS. I was like, y'all definitely gave me the gimme grade on this, but I'll take it and run with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, we were talking about. Let's go back a little bit. We got sidetracked there. We're on a side quest, boys. So we went on. We're talking about labels on this. So for different signatures and stuff. So we put a clear label maker down after each of the signatures.
I mean, I wholeheartedly feel like this is a pretty cool idea because, I mean, yeah, sometimes it's hard to zoom in on the label. This makes it super clear and easy to understand who signed it. Like.
Well, I think it's good for your collection too. Like when you die, at least your wife or significant other, or kids are like, just don't give a shit. Like scribbles on it, and they don't know. And I mean, I know
it's on the label. Like CDC makes it so easy at this point. Like now, if we get to the point where they start taking this stuff off the label, and you got to scan the barcode and all this other bullshit, and yeah, I get that. But at this point, like And this, I guess, is segueing into that whole conversation of like your family not knowing what you have and selling it at dirt rate cheap. It's like we have Google, folks. Like we're past the point now of like, oh, little Timmy went off to the war and died, and we got his comic collection. You give me $1 for it. Like we're past that point. Like
I saw my dad yesterday, Chris. You're gonna laugh at this. He was having problems with his computer, and I just laugh. He goes, I don't know how to attach this, or I need to work up a quote or something for his business. And he's like, can't we just go back to fax and pencil? I'm like, Dad, you're killing me. Fax and pencil.
I have to help my mom often. You know what I mean? She can't sign into like her Google account, and then I'm like beyond worried that I'm like, no, I will be right. I'll be there. Like, please, I don't need your life stolen tonight for whatever the fuck you clicked on.
I know.
You know what I mean? I'm like, let me please help. And then, it's like 30 seconds later, I'm like, type in the 6 numbers they just text you. There you go.
Well, I mean, Chris, you're saying like everything is, everything's easy to find. I'm like, I tend to buy a lot of obscure shit. I mean, I've got video game art. I've got things that foreign books and random shit. And, some of that stuff isn't as easy to track as some of it,
I will put it to the test. All right. So I don't have it with me, and I really wish, but I have supporting documentation for this argument. When I was in Japan, I was buying, you'll see it, but I bought a lot of sales, anime sales. Because they were dirt cheap, because they are fucking everywhere. To the point where like they were only selling off the reasonably priced stuff directly to customers. You had to go on their auction site to get the big boys. I was like, yo, that's multiple panels from Akira. I was like, how much it's like I left Japan and they were already up to like 20 G's. And I was like, fuck me. But yeah, at that point though, random stuff from like Bifam, the battleship of the main villain from Battleship Yamamoto. But again, a lot of stuff I couldn't readily identify because it's like predates me. I mean, we're talking like 1970s, early 80s anime. But you know what? Google Eyes a bitch. Take a picture of that, and it was like, hey, that's from like I legitimately saw one. And I was just like, I've seen that character before, but I have no idea when or where I saw it. Took a picture of it. We're using Google Lens. Google Lens was like, that looks like it is from this anime, which was Mirai, which almost won the Academy Award, but unfortunately went up the same year as Into the Spider-Verse and got crushed. But yes, I now have a sale from a Academy Award nominated anime. But yeah, it was Google Lens. Like Google Lens.
Well, I mean, but some of it's still the value and all that. Like, I don't know. A lot of my art, I'm like, my wife's yelling at me. I'm like, she's like, you just need to put a little information on it.
Oh yeah, true. But like taking it to the auction houses aren't in the business because of the fact that you are getting a percentage of the sale. Like they're not in the business of screwing people over because
no.
Like they're not wanting to assume the risk, so they're not going to want to buy it outright from you. At least rest his soul, the person who was big on that no longer with the company. But yeah, so I mean, I feel like taking it to an auction house, sorry LCSs, but bypassing LCS, taking it to an auction house, negotiating a rate, doing like a half-ass Google, like you can figure stuff out. I mean, me and my partner had a conversation about her dad and his collection of like really rare fountain pens, and I was like, okay, that's be a pain in the ass to figure out. But yeah, the rest of this stuff, artwork, things like that, take it to an auction house, man. Like, have basic documentation on it, and you can figure this out.
Why don't you pull that up for me, Dino?
Somebody's selling it.
Yeah, it's on Heritage. No, Comic Link.
Is it?
Comic Connect.
This dude has it in our little comic book group on Facebook. Not the other one, but the one I'm in. Oh, the sales begun. So it must have been on Comic Link then. Okay, I didn't know if he was selling.
It's on Comic Connect, the one that's Metropolis.
Okay, he was looking at. I thought he was selling and trying to sell it on Facebook on our group. But.
Yeah,
sick.
I don't think I can make a play at it, but I'm contemplating it.
Look at you, fucking stud.
Where are we getting that movie?
It's stuck in Bulgaria. That's why somebody asked if it's selling. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever come out. And it might be shit.
What movie?
It's done. Just put it out.
It still might be shit.
That's all I got for this week. You want to rock the market report a little bit?
Yeah. All right. There's a couple of holdovers from last week, so don't, because we sucked and didn't do a live show.
That was me.
Couple of ASMs holding one a week apart, so they're still holding low threes. So it's okay. I saw this one. 608 RRP. There are no pictures of the back. There's only pictures of like one corner. It's a shit show. Not like you just can't tell. It's definitely not a 9.8. There's definitely some spine ticks, but there's like 6 pictures, and none on the back. It boggled me. It actually just looks like 6 pictures, but I think it's the same 3 over and over. So it was a mess of a thing. I mean, probably it's still a reasonable price.
Do you take the gamble and buy it, boys? Anybody objecting to buy it at 800?
Which is also could be a scam considering it's one list, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's 800 CAD, so that's about what, 650 American.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask, and then
that's worth the risk.
Yeah, I just other than it's a one,
and then Jean Neufma, so that could be up there in Quebec or something.
I mean, other than it's a one feedback seller. Could be a fake, but I mean,
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
So
I don't know.
As somebody who has bought books before on eBay from people and been like, I don't know about this. Like, I'm real quick to get them off to CGC or get them to somebody for a second set of eyes. I've definitely returned books back, and they come back, restored and being like, hey, that book was restored. I need my money back.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably low enough risk. The only bitch is like if you're buying from Canada, the shipping is slow. It's just.
I mean, at $50 shipping, my guess is probably FedEx or UPS is what's shipping is. I mean, most worthwhile comic book sellers in Canada, don't use Canadian Post for that reason. So, like, if you're getting somebody who's shipping a book Canadian Post, if it's like $2, you're like, I'll pay you extra couple of dollars to ship it FedEx or UPS.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. There's a decent likelihood this is the fuck show sale, but who knows? But it's priced enough that you could take that gamble.
Yeah, definitely.
This is $1,200 for this one. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
That's a steal, bro.
I don't think I've seen the Todd McFarlane label before, though.
Yeah,
that was his mail away, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I love the yellow auto, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
because there's an Alex Ross one I just saw a few weeks ago. I didn't know these existed.
The Ross
is new. Ross is new.
Ross is new. The McFarlane one was from the second signing. I think that one showed up, which is funny because I got a 9.8 on this book during that very first signing, and damn sure didn't get $1,200 for the sale. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I set the market on that book. I think like 900. Thought I was doing good.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I understand it's his first artwork, but there's a lot of other Todd books that you can buy for less money that are equally cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. His actual first artwork, like a page from this book, is on eBay right now. Like the splash page from this book, or either Coyote 10, one or the other, is on eBay right now. And the person's asking $75,000 for it, and they bought it from Heritage for like $6,000, like a year prior.
Yikes!
Yeah,
I don't know. There's other things I'd spend that money on particularly. I appreciate it's his first artwork, but it's not that good. So I'm not going to display that book. This was honestly a pretty good deal. First, Doom, Newton, the Australian ones, they love messing with the color scheme. They've got posters in them that are the centerfold. So pretty much Batman 181, all of them. So the chances that the poster is there are pretty thin. So this was a pretty solid price for this book. And the Newtons are fairly tough to source.
I love all the switched Aussie colors on them.
Yeah, they do such a weird job. I wish I had more of them. Every single one is like, were you on drugs when you did this coloring?
They were on drugs when they were drawn in the first place. So they just probably had a little different version of the drugs down under.
Yeah, I mean, we're all on Fastas. This is a cool one you don't see all the time. The Error variant, which has picked up some steam because it's got Harkness in it. It's a Harkness cover, so decent money because this book used to be dirt cheap. So only for 4 or 5, even that's not even that high a grade. There's a beast of a book.
Yeah.
First Mickey, some resto, but man, that's a tough book.
What's the resto classification? Is it C1, B?
Oh, I didn't look that close, my friend.
I can look for you. Give me 1 second.
If it's a C, I think it's like amateurish, so you could probably have that removed. Like you get into A, B's, that's like professional and.
But if it's professional, at least it looks good, you know.
Yeah.
Because it does look, at least at a distance, looks nice.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned with resto on books like this.
This was a color touch, pieces added, A4, moderate, extensive color teach.
Yeah.
Professional.
Yeah, I mean, pieces added that's why it looks so damn nice.
I still like the book.
No.
Guys that do that, they're piecing together other things right now.
Well, but
you know what I
mean? There's a market for it.
Fine art, you know.
There's a market for it. Like,
absolutely.
Some people are like, if I'm going to buy one, I'm going to spend a little less money on one that looks great versus the dog-eared, missing a corner, 3 folds to the middle one. You know, different strokes for different folks on that.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Like if that's my chance to get it, I would buy it. I mean it's a pretty decent buy-in, $2,300 for First Mickey.
I mean, and honestly, you want to throw that up on a display, 90% of people have no idea what a blue versus a purple is, you know?
Sure.
Well,
probably 98% of people.
Yeah. I mean, what also feels kind of crazy is like going back and like just when I first got back into comics and going through the history that's on the CGC board, like there was one individual in particular who was known for her like pressing and restoration, like either putting it in or removing it. And like everybody like sang her praises. They like does amazing work. We're sending her stuff like crazy. I don't know. I guess I wasn't in comics. Like, you know, I was in the hobby at the point when the switch happened and suddenly restoration became super taboo. But like, it was just weird because like you can actually see the point in the forums where people are like, it's cool. Suddenly it's not cool anymore. And then that was the end of it. And never again would people ever buy a purple label book. And like, I just don't understand what happened.
There's still people that do resto. I think though, at this point, it's either you're paying for high-end resto or it's shit. You know, you're paying for this book to happen. You have a tattered remnant and you want it to look nice and you're paying somebody a shit ton of money to do it. I mean, it still exists. And I think
I saw this one too.
It's a limited market, but there's the issue is like 95% of restos crap.
I see people selling these now from 39, little Montgomery Ward.
This is the time of year for that puppy.
Yeah, so a lot of people selling these lately, I've seen. So
yeah, well, it's Christmas, man. You gotta sell the Christmas stuff.
Yep. This one's not bad. A lot of them are in.
It's a Rudolph rookie card, bro.
It's what it is, brother. $450 for like, you know. So just, you see it out there, and just this one's in terrible.
Oh, a lot of them. Yep. Yeah.
I saw one on a Facebook post. When we were scrolling through all the rest of this stuff. So.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. There's people that do high end resto, and it's a niche market.
Yeah.
I'm confused if oh no, that's not the one. Never mind. Okay.
Oh wow, look at that, dude. I've never fucking seen that.
It's cool, but I'm confused by the price point.
Okay.
I mean, it's not high grade. I mean, it is Swedish, which is not super available, but generally the foreign books do not go at multiples like that for the Copper Age stuff.
God damn it, I gotta get that, dude.
So somebody must have needed it, or two somebodies must have needed it.
Yeah, I was gonna say this feels like the cross section of international buyer and G.I. Joe fanboy.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I've never seen it for sale, and I've seen a lot of things for sale. This is not a cover I have went for a set for, but I guess I would imagine Swedish is rare.
How many foreigns are there?
Me.
How many foreigns are there at this book? Do you even know?
Not a clue. I never have researched it. I mean, definitely UK. definitely a handful. I mean,
oh, here we go. You want me to do some? Let's do some digging, right?
I mean, that comic, if you think about it, guys, was ahead of its time.
There's
And I'll
one,
tell
too.
you why. You guys want to know why?
Why?
Because nobody reads their fucking comics anymore.
You're true.
You see what I'm saying? So
the,
that book was ahead of its time, dude.
this
What's
is the
that one?
forum. So
which one's that?
I don't know yet.
What's it
Mexico.
saying?
Published in Mexico by Editorial Vid.
Well, I tell you what, if I don't know if it exists, but number one has an Indonesian freaking version. So if that one made it to Indo, that would be wild. I mean, I don't know. I've never researched G.I. Joe. It's not one I chased. I have picked up one or two, just they were there. I have to get Roybal on that one.
Oh boy.
But
it?
I'm not used to them selling at multiples.
Like this style, maybe?
What are you looking at?
This is Indonesia 21.
Oh shit! Then it probably got there.
I don't really know.
But that's a different cover, huh?
It looks like a different cover.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing the same story. It's got Storm Shadow.
This is 22. Yeah.
I bet it's the story. They just did their own cover. Is that
That's cool?
Is that a interior art from that book? I haven't looked at it in a while.
I don't know.
Might be.
So I just did it from Yojo. I just typed in. What was it?
Well, that could be a motherfucker.
I just put Indonesia and I put. Oh, maybe this one. Okay. I thought I said it different ones, but okay.
Huh.
It says Indonesia. Oh, maybe that's just the currency.
I don't know. I just saying that's wild. I'm not used to most of them selling at multiples like that.
Yeah, I'm just looking again. It doesn't show. I wish it showed me like all of them by 21, but it doesn't.
Huh. No, it's hard. And you could go to Grand Comic Database and might find some of them.
No.
But it's just what has got loaded and what hasn't.
Yeah. So interesting that there's an Indonesian one.
I have a number one. I didn't even think about that one. And
I'm trying to help you out, Joe. Trying to help you out on your quest of G.I. Jonas.
It's wild. I think this one has either there are two of them sold because I think I put this in last week or 2 weeks ago.
You did,
and it surprised me that it sold so high. I don't know if this is the same book for sale or not. But
yeah, I mean, I know how tough it is to find that book. I've never found one, and I mean, I knew about this book. I think all of us did, but many years ago.
Yeah.
8 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. When I first got in, that was one of the late print runs on things about, or the last issues is what I'm trying to say, has always been a thing to be able to pick up and buy. And so finding any G.I. Joe over like 140, 145 in person is not easy.
Yeah.
And never found this.
I'm
probably seen it on a wall, but I've never been digging and found it.
Yeah, and the price point just, sometimes you're like, oh, really?
Yeah, like Raws. I saw Raws. I think I saw one on a wall and they went like $155 for it. And I'm like, I'm good.
Speaking of price point and not that great, I mean, a 9.2 on this bad boy, $400.
Somebody remind me again why this matters.
It's a
rare third print, first Professor Hulk.
Cool colors.
Gotcha.
I don't. Again, it's not one that I would spend that on, but I'm also not really a DC U variant chaser or newsstander. I think it's a niche.
I thought this would come down eventually. I know when we talked about it, wasn't it maybe Trey or somebody way back in the day? Somebody maybe Topher.
It's been a big book for a while.
I know. I just thought it would climb down because eventually.
I think so too. The other prints of it sell too.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a classic image at this point.
I mean, that ship has already sailed on.
Yeah. I just think people love rare. They love the rare. This is a book that's taken a turd.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about this because I know obviously you had one. You still have it?
I had two. I got out of both. One probably a little early, but I had traded into something else I wanted. I think I don't remember what I traded at the time. It's all gone. But I had my 5.5 that I sold probably a little late. I waited till after the movie instead of before, and I probably could have got 20 at the peak. I think I got out around 12 for a 5.5. But I mean, now we're at about $1,000 a point, which is that might have been what I traded out of my lower grade one at. It's about $1,000 a point. So I don't know. It's definitely down. I would almost think about replacing mine at this point. I may do it. This one is for you, Dino.
I know.
I thought it was cool. I took 2 pictures because I couldn't get it all in one shot, but they put the Wolverine label on it, which I thought is both clever and terrible all at once.
It is.
It is, absolutely.
I don't know if I approve.
I kind of approve of it.
Bro, talking about a stretch. No, they both got claws. It's fine.
You got to give them a little bit of credit.
Fuck out of here, dude. No.
No.
Oh my.
It's
Bro,
good
this
for a
book-
laugh.
But we're also talking Freddy Krueger.
This
Like-
book and this SIG are so freaking cool.
I know.
And honestly,
sending that back.
I think I wish it
Google,
wasn't
dude.
on there, but I understand what he was doing.
And I met Robert before. He's a really nice guy. Really nice dude. I can't believe CGC hasn't come out with a like a Halloween label maybe for Halloween horror stuff. I mean, nothing crazy for like, you know, but
I just
maybe
think
like
it'd be hard for. There's not that many of them.
yeah.
So, hey, side note, Chris, how was Horror Nights in Japan?
Interesting. So it's not like in the States here where both California and Florida, like the whole park after dark becomes like, haunts all over the place. They really have like the zombies are like the main thing that are floating around, and they are very much so regulated to very specific parts of the park. They make it very clear how you can avoid them if you want to. They're doing they do a lot more like, or there's like one primary like stage show that they kind of do where they have like somebody get cornered by the zombies and eviscerated type situation.
Oh.
Like they definitely play more into being scared than I think we do as Americans, because the amount of screaming I heard from people with these, mediocre zombie costumes, like being like, there's no way that these people were really scared, but they really were just like there for the experience. Also, Universal in general in Tokyo or in Osaka is very much so about getting selfies with all of the memorabilia and crap. And so like every 5 feet you go is somebody taking a selfie with either something they bought from the Super Mario Park or from, the Harry Potter world, posing with butterbeer. I'm just like, does anybody here actually ride rides or like go into stuff? Because it just felt like everybody just wanted to get there and take selfies all day long with
There's
stuff.
only a couple of houses, right?
I mean, there's like 2, 3 maybe. Yeah. So there was one for Jujutsu Kaisen. There was one for I'm blanking on how you pronounce her name, but the girl from The Ring. Yeah. So she had like a haunt experience type of situation. And then there's the all-time Resident Evil one, or Biohazard, that is a haunt / interactive situation. So the very end of it, you're shooting, like you have guns and you are shooting the costume creature. And depending on how many shots on target you get, they give you a little card on whether or not you pass. And if you did pass, like they grade you like the final, like the levels in Resident Evil. So I mean, it was cool to be able to check the box and say I've had the experience of going to that park, but I don't need to do it again. I would definitely next year probably fly out to California or do Florida.
Fair enough. I will say I've learned one thing about my oldest child is people with chainsaws can get him. Like 2 years in a row, he was not paying attention, and all of a sudden there's a chainsaw like that goes off within a couple feet of him, and he jumps like a little girl.
Hilarious.
The old school stuff still gets you. Sally Forth. Again, another not significantly high grade at a pretty good price point.
I mean, is it still really that rare?
That's what I don't understand.
Hey man, I got a guy. He's selling them all, man.
I just I don't know on some of these.
I'd want that just to get it.
This one has been up 3 weeks in a row. Not sure if it's the same copy or a different copy, but I hadn't seen any of them, and now all of a sudden I've seen 3 in a row. So
do we get announcements? Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh,
the same copy just sold.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they just got found eventually. People started looking for them.
Somebody got a stash of them and graded them all.
I don't know about a stash, but maybe a stash or somebody was holding them.
This is
a stash of 3 or 4 could be possible.
Yeah, they're like, hey, it's Christmas time. I need some money.
Yeah,
found a shop with a pile of them.
What's the cents up to?
Close to 80.
Oh, look at you.
Really?
We talked about it like 3 or 4 weeks ago. We talked about it because I was like, I keep seeing it. I've taken the screenshot 3 times out of 4 weeks. So, yeah.
Anyway,
so this one
on that. Go buy it. Yeah.
This one just feels off already. I'm pulling up the description because I took a picture. Is quote. Pages browning and breaking a bit on edges. Haven't had it graded, but local comic store said it would be a 3.5 in their opinion. Book is complete. Make me an offer. It feels trimmed.
It looks trimmed to me.
Oh,
yeah,
great
definitely.
time. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Right? That the edge just looks off.
It just waves in a lot.
It doesn't even look straight.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Local comic dealer helped me trim it.
Yeah. I don't know. So, I don't know if that's probably it's a best offer. I don't usually include best offers, but I did for this one. Who knows? If you wanted this book, maybe the guy got a price that he's like, fuck it, I won't see another one. Cool. Yeah. But it just looked real wonky donkey.
19 Tim 68, the seller. Some old guy just used his password for his username too.
I'm looking at his hair. Let's do it. Can we pull it off? I'll do a deep dive. So he has he has a bunch of other books on.
I mean, it could be his stuff.
I mean, and they're all beat, so that's surprising that book is not so beat. I mean, this one doesn't look too bad for number 2, but everything else looks. I mean, let's see what he sold because I'm that asshole.
So he collects Futurama, so it makes
that was weird.
Sense.
Yeah. Eastman Laird Comics, that's interesting. Third printing, so he's TMT guy, so he hasn't really $36. I don't know if that's a good price anymore.
That's a good price.
So yeah, he's all over the place. So
could just be that seller doesn't know he has, but yeah, that copy just I saw the book and went, wow, I don't see that often. Then I saw the edge and I'm like, that looks wrong.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it looks really sharp.
Yeah, and it looks like it goes up in the edge.
Yeah.
Could be the table, I don't know. But it doesn't look right.
I mean, it's definitely got its...
Doesn't look as bad there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's fine. I don't know. Maybe it was that picture.
I mean, he went ahead to say that it's brittle. He's not trying to hide anything.
He may not know is the thing, but that one picture made it look terrible. But it doesn't look trimmed as much here.
Yeah, like that one doesn't.
The color looks pretty though. I mean,
yeah, it does.
It presents very well.
Maybe it's fine. I think there's something to do with this. Whatever table he's on makes it look like it's curved. I think
because you're seeing like this orientation, and it's not. That's a marble.
Whatever is going on that marble is messing with. Because when you flipped it over, it doesn't look as bad. Like, that doesn't look trimmed. I don't know. Maybe some got a fucking deal. All right. Speaking of Ninja Turtles, here's 2 that you don't see very often.
I fucking had a 31 too.
Tim hooked us up.
Yeah, remember? And then I got it signed by one of the boys. Me and Paul took our books down to Indianapolis back in the day.
Paul got us hooked up.
Did you get it signed or did it come signed? Because
no, I had it signed on the inside. He did a big fucking drawing for me.
Oh, nice. Because some were signed when they mailed them out. It was
I sold it like an asshole for like $100.
Oh, you could pay more for him to sign it, like $10.
Yeah,
I remember a guy pulling one of those out of our bins at in like Heroes or wherever we were at over there, Charlotte. And then the dude's like, "This is only $80," and he's all, "Man, you should pull it. It's worth more than that now." I'm like, "Do you want to just give me $80 for it then?"
Yeah.
Rather than look it up, man, I paid 20. So
yeah, it was one of those. I'm like, I'm sure I sold mine for around 100.
I sold mine for 100 too, and I was like, "Oh, cool."
Dude, I bought a few, and we were all mad and wanted to send them back because they were like fucking 9.0s.
Yeah. Oh well, that's all right.
Actually, I didn't pay 20. I paid 10 because it paid cover price. They didn't sell out on the site for like forever.
No, yeah, it was the Mirage site. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah,
and Paul's like, "I've been buying them forever. I just figured I'd hook you guys up." And
that was usually the lowest selling one because honestly, that cover's fucking horrendous.
Well, they weren't up much longer. I think Tim bought them all. Probably has a stack of them. This was 4Color sent this one.
Yes. This is. I didn't do anything on it. It's cool covers.
Yeah.
Tell you, it's holding there. So.
Wizard, Spawn, people will buy anything Spawn.
This Scariest Comics had a hell of a weekend. Or week.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize I'd taken so many of his, but yes.
He's a new Blizzard, folks. No, I'm joking.
I didn't send one. I had a creepy ass clown cover I didn't send in. Oh well.
I'd like a 9.8 of this.
I think
it's one of my favorite parts of my fucking childhood.
It's funny when I went and got my collection from being a kid. I got the boxes and I threw all the Wizards away like an idiot.
I still have mine, but they're beyond red.
Oh yeah,
red. And they're not bagged and boarded, and there's definitely moisture damage, and they're in the garage. But I fucking have them, so I know I have that in the garage, my original copy.
I should have kept them. I just was like, this is excess stuff. I don't need to take that home. Anybody got pickups?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm still on my hiatus watching Crow art.
Okay. So this, I got some shit over here. Actually I showed this on Wednesdays, but I got lucky with this here.
Oh.
Signed 90 Capullo. So Big Clutch is doing a show on eBay Live. Who's a friend of mine doing the eBay Live interviewing Capullo. And so we all know where he got the new 52 bats from once he knew he was going to be on eBay Live. So he says, no, they're not going to CGC. And I watched Capullo sign this for him. I have screenshots of it live on the show. And I was like, that's freaking cool. So I won this live. Well, a friend is interviewing Capullo, and I won this for $120.
Wow!
At the end of it, the witness with signature books for eBay, whoever was the witness, just picks up all the books. So all the books he signed by Capullo all got graded without him intending to get them graded. So for $120, I got a 9.8 Batman 1 SS.
Jesus, that's awesome.
Nice, can't beat that.
Dude, yeah. And then after that, and you know how we're kind of weird about buying stuff from people, friends, whatever. So after that, there was a Capullo Invincible sketch, the SDCC one, and I was like, I want, and it was like $100. He's signing it right there, and I'm like, man, I really want to buy that. Like, I really want to, like, I want to, but I was like, I can't keep winning all these books. It just looks weird. We know how we're all cognizant of people watching each other, having friends win each other's auctions. Like, I can't keep winning. Even the other copies of this sold for like 150 or something. And so the Capullo Invincible, I got a 9.9 that I didn't bother to buy.
Oh,
that's but look, I got no complaints right here.
So no, that's a beautiful book.
So anyway, I've had this story. SMG took a month to ship all his NYCC Comic-Con books. Kept apologizing, but finally got these Adam sets in. That are numbered maybe 250 on this, and 100 or 150 Art Adams Ninja Turtles. They do look 9.8. people probably have quit paying attention to them because once you buy a con book and it doesn't ship for a month. So
You
sorry,
forget that it
SMG, thanks
exists.
for the books. Lost my last books from you. At least you kept answering and you fake shipped them with the upload of the tracking because I was complaining, and then ships 2 weeks later. And then when you sell 250 books a day, if not 350 books a day on Whatnot, you should ship them
Quickly.
or ship all your other shit before you have another show. But that's just me. Some other stuff, got graded stuff. So whatever, the John Boy Invincible one. Thought this was cool. Get that graded, but who cares? Because also got the 9.9 with it.
Nice.
So those don't, you don't get to see these like these too often. These are be for sale. I was selling some of the John Boys. They're gonna be for sale. That's why they're there. It's Invincible time. I got a few more than that. So 2 more. 2 more. That's some dupes. So this is the Run the Jewels.
Oh, wow.
This is the Mexican version. The Mexican foil. Let me see here. Sorry if that's loud.
I said the same thing. I was like, oh wow, and then he's like, it's a Mexican foil version.
Hey, dude, but it looks really good. It even looks better out of the thing.
I was gonna say
my camera's not doing it justice, but it's only this is the foil. This and the writing obviously is the foil.
It looked
part.
a little wonky, but I see why it pops a lot though.
It looks good, and this is like a matte, like a flat black, so it's not all shiny, just the parts that should be shiny. So actually, it looks better in the slab than it did even not in the slab. Something like this, and then I got another surprise, but it's unfortunately it's a double surprise. Thanks CGC. You don't sub too many books, especially ones from 1995, and get 10s.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got an X-Men Omega 10. And it's awesome that they annotated it newsstand edition, except that it's not. It's direct. So finally got a 10 from CGC. They fucked up the label.
eBay one.
So I think I don't know if it's worth more or less. Considering that, kind of sad that I finally get a 10 and I have to send it back. And I've had this out of a dollar bin. I can't tell you how long ago, and decided to go send the Chromium book. And so you don't get too many old. And it's like remember the Chromium? They're like flimsy. This is not like cardstock or something like that, So it just never got messed up, and I couldn't see any flaws. So I threw it at 9.8 pre-screen, and I got a 10, and I can't remember the last 10 I got. So it's Batman Damned, and that almost doesn't like compute. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do a video or something on this, but that's it. That's all my pickups. CGC 10.0 or
is that the only 10 in the census, bro?
I don't know. I don't think so, but I'll see. In this book, I doubt it. I really hope so. Give me a second so I get my submission open, because now it's actually easy to kind of look that up. So the last ones that shipped, you go right to it. Submission. See the 10. Oh, to see have 9 9s and 10s in the same submission.
Hey,
There's 6 10s.
How many hundos did you slip in there?
None, and if I did, it wouldn't have been for X-Men Omega, but it's pretty cool. So, I'm excited.
You trying to get an alpha? You gonna do an X-Men alpha?
Dude, I did have the
Wolverine.
the alpha didn't pass pre-screen, and alpha didn't pass. Oh, I had the gold in this in the last submission, but I thought the gold was worse than either of these two. So I wanted to send them in different pre-screens, but the gold got a 9.8 and was newsstand, and they labeled it newsstand. I did not enter this as newsstand, by the way. So the gold did get a 9.8 with a newsstand annotation, sold for $505. So that was cool. But anyway, I'm gonna have a 10, and we'll see if I sell it with the effed up label, or if I bother to send it back, since I've only got like 2 seconds to do it. And right when I flipped it over, I was like, oh, it is new. It says direct right there. It's like says okay. So there's nothing much to look up when it says direct in exactly those letters. Anyway, there we go. Happy to get a 10 and a 9.9. And I'm happy with Deadpool Pass. I got a few of them and they didn't look great, but I did end up at 3.98. So there we go. That's it.
Nice.
Joe, you got anything down there? Nothing?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to my homeboy who picked this up at Ross for me for $50.
Nice.
So it comes with looks like a big dildo and shit, dude.
You know what's funny? I just got a Ross in my neighborhood finally in Michigan.
Be on the lookout for these, bro.
Okay. It's a fucking, like, it started where there was like nothing in there, and then all of a sudden the fucking parking lot's packed every day. So maybe I'll go tomorrow and just kind of squeeze by and be like, yo, what up?
So I picked up some old alien worlds, cool ass covers. This still has the 3D glasses.
Nice.
Pretty high grade. And then this one, pretty cool. This one, Strange Days #1. Airboy is Vanguard, kind of spacey, kind of cool looking. I don't know what the hell that is. And then
those alien words, isn't there some Dave Stevens?
Oh yeah,
right? Yeah.
This one, Americomics number 1. Here's the Dave Stevens Vanguard. Nice. This one was pretty badass. This is Vanguard. This one #1. Mama. And then this Spider-Man Adventures newsstand.
Nice.
Love that cover.
And then some old school razors. And then this one still has this one's chromium, and it came has a card.
Yes.
Some Kirby.
You just randomly at stores or what?
Yeah, man. The guy bought a collection, and I just I said, "Hey, man, what do you want for those?" And my buddy hooked me up. He goes $2 a piece. And I said, "Fuck it, I'll take them." You know.
Yeah.
Razor. And then this one was pretty cool. I got to look this one up.
I like that.
Mama.
You're using the eBay lookup picture thing yet?
Yeah, I just barely got them. So, and then Rocketeer.
Love those Rocketeers. The Dave Stevens Rocketeers are the best.
This one was pretty
JSC.
camel. Yeah.
That's the Shazar hats are tough, man.
And then this Danger Girl with the
this one here.
foil and the black and white foil. And then this one, it's not worth shit, but I like the cover. And then I found this Mortal Kombat bubblegum cover. I'm sending this one along short.
Nice.
He didn't even know that. Yeah, he was, oh, bro.
Bubblegum.
Check this out, Sean. You know about these Adam Hughes books, right?
Oh yeah, I just pulled the Daredevil out of a box. Like,
okay, but have you ever seen a newsstand?
To be honest, I didn't. I haven't checked for them, so probably hell no, I probably haven't. How many newsstands are going to be? Are they the same? Is it the same cover?
Yeah, man.
Is there a little? Is there a camel toe? Like the Daredevils? I'm just telling you, I didn't think you'd see any of those on the newsstand for the.
I don't know. My mouth is watering though. You know, one thing I learned in Baltimore, Sean told me that most of these they have. You got to get lucky because Rusty Staples.
Rusty Staples, yeah. Which I mean, I'd pick them up when I could, but I had people send you shit from across the country to press. Yeah, that's the Daredevil, and that's got the camel toe.
Oh yeah, the Adam toe.
Yeah.
And then I found the black and white one of it.
Nice.
Really?
And this one's autographed by the other guy.
Yeah, definitely never seen that. Cool books.
Cool. right. I'm a loser. I don't have anything. I'm going to Arizona in January, so we'll see what I can pick up there.
Nice. Yeah, all my stuff is back at the house. I am operating out of a hotel room for this week, but I will definitely have pickups, including stuff for the Star Wars fanboys out there. So,
hey Chris, did you get any grades back, man?
Not yet. No, so that stuff just is scheduled for grading. So,
for me, we are gonna do probably a show tomorrow with Carter finally. So tomorrow, Flipside Tuesdays. I got the comic shop talk last night late, so I'll post that this week. A new episode of that, and that's it. So we love everybody. We'll catch everybody later. And with that, we're gonna bounce and we're out, man. So
see ya.
have everybody out, and then we'll talk to everybody later. Deuces. So here we go.